What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the new season. Because this week, the new season kind of kicks off. Thiago Motta is in town. I think everybody saw the pictures. Everybody read the news. It's actually preseason. Now it's real preseason. Fitness test this week for a lot of players that probably are not going to be at the club this season or actually ever again. We need to be honest about that. But it is preseason. It's a new era. Definitely a new era. It's interesting. It's exciting. It's a bit nervous. I think everybody's a bit nervous still that it's all new and what's the team gonna look like? How we're gonna play? Who's gonna adapt? Is it gonna succeed? So many questions. But the big question is still, what is the team gonna look like? And it wouldn't be a transfer window without crazy links. And we have one hell of a crazy link, and it's Joao Cancelo. We have a new update on Todibo, who is apparently one of the main candidates to make up for not signing Calafiori this summer. So that's what we're going to talk about it. Before we do that, as always, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's dive straight into what is a very strange report. Okay, so Joao Cancelo, I don't need to introduce him. I don't need to talk about who he is and can he play? Can he do this? Well, he played for us. I think everybody knows Cancelo. I think everybody talks about Cancelo once every single 3 months. Barcelona is on TV for playing Champions League, and people are roasting him because he cannot defend, or people are roasting Danilo because Cancelo does something ridiculously tacky. And I'm in that second part, by the way. But he's linked with a return. It's from La Stampa. It's also from Giovanni Albanese. You might say awful sources. And I might say, I will say, yeah, I agree. But so many times this summer, the main stories that became something came from ridiculous sources. Thuram came from, I thought, Repubblica the first time. Douglas Luiz came from Tuttosport, some ridiculous. I think everybody saw the front page and everybody's like, yeah, no chance, not going to happen. And it did happen. So we need to address it. And La Stampa is saying that Cancelo is done with Man City. Man City are done with Cancelo. They want to move him on. And his agent is offering to Inter and Italy because he wants to return to Italy. And actually is also willing to lower his wages to make that return. Now, so many layers to unpack. First off, the part that I'm willing to believe, that Man City is moving on from him. They loaned him out. I think at that point, at that age, he's 30. It's very clear that at Man City, he doesn't have a future. So that part is very believable. The part where he's willing to lower his wage, also believable. Because at the time, when we moved out Cancelo for Danilo, he said it. He made it very clear. He didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay at Juve. He was willing to go to Man City because it was Man City with Pep. So it was like, cool. But I wanted to stay at Juve. Those were his words. He never pushed for that move. Actually, at beginning, he was like, I want to stay. And the club was, we need the plus Valenza, blah, blah, blah. And everybody know what happened. We got Danilo in return, cash, and we made that deal happen. So that part is very believable. The part that is a sticking point is the contract situation in terms of the transfer fee and his age. He's 30 years of age. Actually, I thought he was younger, but he's 30 years of age. If it's a loan deal, the club will be all over it. They will. They will make a move to bring him in if it's a loan deal. For Man City, it doesn't make sense. I think Man City loaned him out to Bayern. They loaned him out to Barcelona. I think at this point, they're like, no loans, just full on sale, and we keep it moving. That might reduce the price. And that comes to the second point where I'm like, as a club, and it's very easy for me to say, get Cancelo in, because people know how much I like Cancelo as a player. Not as a defender, but as a player, a joy to watch. Going forward, he has something other players don't have. He cannot defend, fine. Danilo is okay at defending, but he cannot do what Cancelo does on the ball. So I'm like, box standard player, Cancelo has something. I like those type of players. I acknowledge he cannot defend. I also acknowledge that I said I don't want old things back at the club, and I will stick with that. I want the club to think outside of the box. If he comes, if he joins, obviously I will back the decision because I want things to succeed. But definitely, I'm not sitting being like, yeah, do this deal. If it's a long, if we need to buy and you need to give him a contract for 3 years, it's definitely a no. And I think it's also definitely a no for the club. I don't think the club will make that deal happen if it's a full-on buy with a long-term contract. I think that's a no-go for the club because of the like the upside is ridiculous. Everybody saw him at the Euro, and you watch him play, and you're like, yeah, man, he just can play, but he cannot really defend. And do you want to commit to that long-term? No. So if it's a loan, the club will be over it. How it will fit with Thiago Motta, we don't know. Timothy Weah could be out of the door, and he could be the quote-unquote a winger type of option. I have no idea how it would work, but the story, how crazy it sounds, is still, for a large part, very, very believable. So that's why I'm talking about it. That's why we should acknowledge it. But as of now, it's definitely not a main objective. So we will move on to what potentially could be a main objective, especially position-wise. That's a center back. We missed out on Calafiori, and we need to keep it moving right now. And Kiwior was potentially, is potentially the easy tap-in story, or the easy tap-in link, where it's like, yeah, Kiwior played under Thiago Motta, available and cheap, maybe even on loan for Arsenal, and that makes a lot of sense on that regard, and still for me will be the main target for the club to fix that back line. However, Nico Shira and actually everybody right now is putting out that Todibo is one of the candidates for Juve to improve that center back position. Giuntoli has always been following him. Then other news media outlets came out saying that he's actually waiting. Fabiano Della Valle saying he's waiting on Juve. He wants to move to Juve. Agreeing terms with the player, definitely not an issue. It's just that Nice value him at 40 million. And that's where I'm like, okay, if you're going to pay 40 million for Todibo, you could have paid 10 million more for Calafiori, and you got your main target. So 40 million euros is definitely not going to happen. I saw other reports saying that Nice want to sell for 25, BS. They're selling Thuram out of contract for 25. They're not going to do that with Todibo, who has interest from the Premier League, So is he a viable option? Is he a realistic option? I don't think so right now. Is he an option good enough? I'm not the biggest Todibo fan, and I've watched him at Schalke, and that was kind of, maybe it's the issue because I've not watched him recently. I look up the stats. He's good on the ball. He's actually very good on the ball. Similar to Calafiori. I think Calafiori has more those instincts to bust forward, even without possession. Not so Todibo. So that's that. Defensively, he's very good. He is right-footed. People might think that's an issue. I think he can play on the left. I don't really assume that's a big issue, if I'm being completely honest. So we would fit what we need. And so definitely nothing against that. It's just, how realistic is it if the price tag is 40 million? Now, we do need to replace a center back. We need to bring in a center back. Even wing backs, even fix the right back and left back situation. But Rugani could be on the move. Gatti, question marks. Diallo, we don't know. Bremer has a release clause. Danilo's getting older. Huijsen, we don't know. You need to do something. You need to make that back line better. I will stick with that 100%. Will it be Todibo? I'm going to say no. As of now, for the price tag, no. Especially if you're pushing for quote minor. So it is going to be interesting what Giuntoli will do. But the easiest thing to do seems like it's going to be Kiwior. And I think when that happens, all hell will break loose among fans. But we will talk about that at due time, obviously. So for now, do you want to bring Cancelo back? Do you think we should be bringing Cancelo back? And also, do you like Todibo for not getting Calafiori? Let me know in the comments, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Ciao.